So today I'm going to be making a dandelion salve. I've been really looking forward to making this. So last year I made a video about Mullen, and then I was pregnant, and then I had this little man here, and never got around to making another video. So hopefully my next video won't be a year later. Honey, thank you. So today I have some dandelion. These are dandelion leaves I harvested yesterday. I'm going to chop up. They have wilted a little bit. Hi, bud. Really good camera. Hold on. All right, let me move your tower over. Yeah, there you go. Honey, I'm cutting stuff up. I can't help with this part, okay? So I'm gonna just roughly chop up the leaves and stems, because I'm gonna be using leaves, stems, and flowers for this. I harvested quite a few yesterday. And here's some of the flowers that I've harvested. Some of them wilted. Those are the ones I harvested yesterday. Actually, whenever I went out to the garden this morning, I picked a few more dandelions for this. So that's why there's some that are not. They're nice and not wilted. But letting them sit overnight helps get rid of some of that extra moisture. So that's just good for with infusing oil. You don't really want moisture in your oil, or it'll help it. But if you're I'm doing a warm infusion, so it's not as big of an issue. But if you're doing a cold infusion, it can cause it to go rancid. And here I actually harvested some root too. I'm planning to do something with that. Haven't decided what yet. I might make a tincture. So we have our dandelion. Now I'm gonna measure out how much I actually have, because this recipe says to have half a cup of dried stuff. I'm definitely going to have more than that, which is fine because I'm wanting to make a bigger batch. Anyway, so dandelion it's really good for, so this is going to be for soothing sore joints and aches. It's also really good for helping heal your skin. I actually made a dandelion salve in the spring when the dandelions were first popping up, and I used olive oil and beeswax in that, and maybe some coconut oil, I can't remember. But I gave some to my in-laws, and my father-in-law has kind of a skin condition with his hands that he has had prescription medication for, and he has never been able to have it really improve. And he started using the dandelion salve I made for him, and he says it works just as good or better than the prescription stuff that he was using. So he's been really liking it for his hands. I was actually surprised he used it, but I'm really glad he did. So I'm going to make, the only complaint he has was that it was a little greasy. So this time I'm going to be using sweet almond oil and shea butter and coconut oil in it. And I'm gonna see if maybe it'll be a little less greasy and just a little more pleasant for a hand cream, along with beeswax. So we'll see how it turns out. I have about a cup, we'll call it a cup worth of stuff. So I'm just gonna double this recipe and see how it turns out. I'm gonna do, yeah, pumpkin. All right, so we need a cup of coconut oil. I'm gonna put that in first, because it's gonna melt. It's gonna need to melt. Yeah, pumpkin. I'm gonna do I'm gonna do a whole cup. So that means I need 2 cups. I'm gonna do 2 cups of coconut oil, which I just have a half cup measuring cup right here to be able to scoop it out. kind of tough to scoop out. Okay, I finally got 2 whole cups of coconut oil in. Now I'm going to do, let's see, a whole cup of sweet almond oil. Thank you, Pumpkin. Good job. Yeah. And I'm gonna have this, I'm pouring this all into a double boiler. Go ahead. No. I can't even see. Hard to see what I'm doing past the baby's head. Dude, don't touch it.
No.
Yeah. All right, whole cup. Whole cup of that. So now we gotta put the lid back on. All right, so dandelion has anti-inflammatory properties. It's also rich in vitamins A, C, and K, as well as in calcium and potassium. So it's like a little superfood there. And so obviously you can, of course, actually eat dandelion. You can eat the root, the flower, the leaves, all of it. But because it is so rich in all these vitamins and minerals, it also is helps with inflammation, it helps with skin repair, wound healing. So I am making it into a salve. I also have some dried dandelion flowers on hand that I do put in tea occasionally. And so it can be very, very good in tea. Yeah, you like tea, huh, Pumpkin? All right, so now I have this in a double boiler over low heat with all my oils. All right, see, there's my flowers and leaves and my almond oil and coconut oil mixture. I'm going to let that simmer for about 1.5 to 2 hours, I think. And let it really get a nice infusion in the oil, and then I'll strain it off. Okay, our oil has been simmering for about 2 hours. So we're going to go ahead and strain it off. Huh, Pumpkin?
The pot.
Yeah, you stir in the pot? Okay, here we are gonna go and strain off our mixture. Got chopstick there.
Strain out.
Yeah, strain out.
Try. Strain out.
Alright, I'm going to rinse this out because I'm going to use this again to melt the shea butter and beeswax in. And then mix everything else into it. I don't want any of the plant matter that's left in there.
The shea butter.
Yeah, you got a bowl of shea butter? You're such a cutie. Ooh, that's kind of warm. Probably should have let it cool a little more before doing this so I could squeeze it better. Just push it down onto there. That seems to work okay. There we go. Now I think I used quite a bit of leaves, so it has a little bit of a more earthy smell versus if you used all just flowers, which you could do. And then it might have a slightly sweeter smell. But I am going to put lavender essential oils in it, so it's probably going to just smell like lavender in the end. Alright, where should I put this? Right there for now. Alright, so we have a total of 2 cups of oil about. I need to wipe it down. Where did there's the paper towels.
Pot.
Yeah, I'm drying the pot off. Good job.
Pot.
Yeah. Because I don't want a bunch of water in this. That'll just cause it to go rancid faster. So I'm drying off the pot so that it's not wet from whenever I rinsed it out. Okay. Now I have 2 ounces of shea butter. Let's get that melting. Then we're going to, yeah, then I think it's 3 ounces ounces of beeswax.
2
Ounces of beeswax.
The egg.
Yeah, okay, get your hand out.
Super.
There we go.
Super. Yeah.
Nope. Leave it alone. All right, now I have 3 ounces of beeswax. I have the beeswax pellets. You can get it in bricks or however you want. It's a lot easier to measure out when it's in little pellets and it melts faster. So I like it that way.
Egg. Dip. Bees.
Yeah.
Egg.
All right, now I'm gonna get this all the beeswax and the shea butter melting together. And once it's melted, I'll pour in the infused oil. Hot pumpkin. Yeah.
Hot.
It's hot. All right, so we're going to, we just finished melting the beeswax and shea butter. So I'm gonna pour in the infused oil. Hold on, pumpkin. So it looks like it's a little cloudy. There might be some, hopefully the next decant. So I'm gonna pour it off. Aubrey, stop. All right, we're going to, I'm gonna do bergamot essential oil in half the jars and lavender in half. So one way you can is to add the essential oils. You can either put it directly into your mixture, into your oil mixture, or since I'm gonna do 2 different ones, I'm gonna put them straight into the jars instead, and then pour it on top and stir it together. Now, I'm not positive how many of these jars I'm gonna actually need. These are 2-ounce jars, so I probably have around 2.5 cups. So, okay, stop. Might make 8. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna try doing about 4 or 5 drops per one. Alright, so that one's, hold on. Okay, making sure it poured. Stop. I'm gonna have to do this part, okay?
Coke.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Alright. Stir this together real good. Don't want it hardening yet. Alright. Aubrey, stop it. No. Stop. Alright. That one's lavender. So we'll put that there. How pumpkin. So you helping? We're gonna set these to the side and we'll use them as needed. Stop. Don't touch them, Aubrey. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna have these. Watch out, this is hot. I'm gonna be pouring this, okay, pumpkin?
Hot.
Yeah, hot. Wipe it off.
Big. Big. Too big.
So I'm not the greatest at pouring this off cleanly. Kind of make a mess.
toe.
Alright. There we go.
Pull out.
Yeah. Pour it off.
Right.
So that worked out perfectly. Alright. Now we just have to let it, I'm going to stir them together since I put the essential oils in at the bottom. I'm going to try to stir them all together. They're already starting to cool. So, we'll see how this turns out.
Face. Face.
Stop. Alright, my salves have hardened up, and you can see that soft enough to put your finger in a little bit, but so I think it turned out a perfect consistency. Next time you see dandelion, don't spray it, just harvest it and make it into, God damn it. Alright, so the salve turned out great. I doubled the recipe that I had found in a book, and this made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 11 2-ounce jars. I spilled some. Maybe it should have made 12. But next time you're going out and you see a whole bunch of dandelions, don't try spraying them. Just leave them, harvest them. You can use the root, the leaves, the flowers. All of it has so many great beneficial properties to them for teas, tinctures, and in this case, a salve. So hopefully this inspires you to make some yourself and harness the power of dandelion. Is that salve? You put that on your face. She's rubbing it on her face. Yeah. So I think it turned out great. I'll put down the ratios and the recipe I used down below. Hopefully you guys can all try making your own. And instead of spraying and getting angry about all the dandelions infesting your yard, you can get excited about them and start picking them instead. Thanks. Bye.